Alright, people, CAWs, reviews, this random piece of deli meat, as it always goes. Handy dandy tier list, as always. And yeah, without any further ado, let's get into it. So we're going to kick things off today with Abagor the Zeroth. Now, first impressions, there's a lot going on here. So, I mean, it's a core with face paint, so naturally I'm going to be a little bit like, okay, I'm not gonna necessarily rag on you too much for not that much face morphing. But if you wanted to go a little bit more unique, that's probably where I would go with that. I will say, I like how the gear kind of gives like spooky-ish vibes, but it's not like super spooky. Like, it's not just Undertaker tights or like, you know, it's not just fully spooky, and I'll give you that. It's really cool. I like this face paint as well. I like the colors. I like the overall look. I like the overall vibe. I like the hair with it as well. And I actually like this character quite a bit. I can't lie to you. See, I would say something about blending in the tattoo, but then again, I'm also just there like, it could be a tattoo, but then you could just go down like the route of, oh well, it's just body paint, right? Like, it is what it is, and you know, either works, to be honest. I like the look. Nothing inherently like, oh my god, this is like the most incredible core I've ever seen, but nothing inherently bad about it. Where am I gonna put Abagor the Zeroth on the tier list? I think it's a solid offering to start off. I'm gonna say high B tier. Next up for review, we have Ballistico. Now, first impressions, I actually like the look. Oh, we're exposing the business. I don't think there's been much work on the face, which again, I'm always going to say, you might not need to with luchadors, but if you, it just adds a little bit if you do something with the face a little bit more. Just kind of helps make the mask structure look a little bit more unique. That's all I'm really ever going to say on that one. See, I both like and feel like there's things that could be done way better with this core. What do I mean by that? What am I saying by that? Well, it's very simple. It's you're called Ballistico, you've got like the bull horns, etc. But I'm not seeing much else apart from the mask. And like, whilst I get that that's sort of like, you know, the luchador thing of like, you know, a lot of the detail comes from the mask. Even then, if you took away the horns and said, could you tell me what this luchador's name is? Ballistico is not something that's coming out of my mouth. I'm just going to be completely real. I think you have something here. I think you've got something pretty cool. However, I just don't think you've got the full picture, and I think even with this second gear, I don't think the full picture is quite there. I think if you focused on it a little bit more and you really tried like showcasing the gimmick more than just having bull horns on the mask, and even then they don't really look like bull horns, they just kind of look like devil horns, really. Like, there's a bit that could be done to kind of help sell the gimmick a bit more, but honestly, I do like the look. Where would I put Ballistico on the tier list? I'm gonna say a low B tier. And if you're enjoying the content that you're watching right now, maybe you would enjoy the deep dive series or the creators commentary series, which are members only content here on the channel, which you can be a part of for as cheap as 99p a month. You get your name on the wall of support here, and it helps support the channel. And if you wanted to, you could become a bigwig and actually get your name shouted out, but that's $4.99 a month. It is not needed in any way, but it is still greatly appreciated. Now anyways, back to the video. Next up for review, we have Jared Howe. Now, first impressions, it's a bit all over the place, I can't lie. So, straight away, there's been no face morphing. This is just a face template, so that's already and then, what do I mean by the gears all over the place, right? Because there's like a color scheme. Well, you've got Miz boots, right? You've got Miz boots, Taker tights, Roman gloves. Like, what's going on here? You got like those tattoos. You got a tattoo with a cut off that you haven't done properly. You've got Will Ospreay tattoos as well. Like, the red solo cups and the devil mask? Like, what is your gimmick, bro? If I saw this, I'm thinking, what in the hell? What is your gimmick? Are you a demon? Are you a cocky dude? You can't, like, I'm gonna be real. You can't be both. Cannot be both. Not in this world. Not in Big 2025. And like the hair as well. I'm just, this is so all over the place. You've got tattoos overlapping each other as well. This is such an all over the place core, man. Like, you need to figure out what your gimmick is. And genuinely, I've said this to one person already. You are not the first person with Osprey tattoos in the core review. You need to get rid of them right now. Just straight up. They do not work with your core. You need to figure out your gimmick. You need to figure out your style. And yeah, you need to tighten some stuff up here. Honestly, where is Jared Howe going on the tier? It's D tier. All right, next up for review, we have Mikey Milkshake Wick. Now, first impressions, I actually quite like this look. Now, finally, some face morphing. It's been a weird episode, I can't lie. But hey, at least this face morphing is here. I like it. It looks really unique. And it's in game as well. So like, you know, again, this is what I mean by like, I've actually enjoyed a lot of the people who have been doing face morphing in the game rather than just grabbing a texture, because I can't lie, doing this actually takes a lot more work, trust me. And then gear wise, you know, it's very rare that you see someone rocking pink gear on a male core, and I feel like, you know, shouts to Kyle Fletcher for rocking the pink gear recently, but I feel like it works. I feel like, especially with the theme of the milkshake and all of that, right? Like, I actually remember talking to Daniel about this idea, and I just said, hey, the milkshake, man. And yeah, here he is. And honestly, I like the look because it's taking the premise and it's not making it the full thing. So it's not like a comedy gimmick. It's just, hey, you know, he's the milkshake man. His gear reflects that, but it doesn't control his whole character. And I feel like when you're able to do that, it works very, very well. And again, I like this logo because it blends in really well with the overall look and the overall gear. Maybe you could have made that logo just like a tiny bit bigger, but I kind of like it nonetheless, to be honest. I think this is a really, really solid core. Where am I going to put Mikey Milkshake Wick on the tier list? I'm actually going to say a high A tier. Next up for review, we have Ocho Locos. Now, I actually really like this look. We're exposing the business, we're masking a luchador, and wow, okay, this face morph is incredibly unique. So yeah, already points for that. Like, this is a face morph you just do not see at all, but it works very, very well. Then we get into the gear. Yeah, no, I really like this. You know what this kind of gives me vibes of? This is like a Luchador Orange Cassidy type deal, right? Like, the denim, the glasses. I like the logo too. Like, everything works here. And this is what I mean by like, when things work, things work. Is it weird that I feel like he would fit in quite well with the hardcore division? Like, this is a hardcore dude. Like, even the patch here has like the texturing of like an actual patch. It's not just like a logo chucked on, and there's like cloth texturing to it, and it's like all of these small little attention to details are what are going to win you the day. And like, again, the patch on like the 8-ball, the fact that like there's a denim texture on there too, you got a tattoo that's blended in really nicely. There's so much detail here, and I really, really like this core, to the point where, hey, you know what, Ocho Locos, welcome, my friend, to the S tier. And next up for review, we have Remy Lost. Now, first impressions, it's okay. Good lord, this guy looks like a crackhead. Yeah, someone needs to get him a good moisturizing routine ASAP, and they probably need to get him some eye drops as well, because he either has pink eye or this man has been hitting the bong like there is no tomorrow. He's cooked, bro. He's on a different plane of existence. But the morph's pretty nice, I can't lie. At least it's been morphing. And like, as far as gear goes, I like the look. I just can't get over the face. Like, bro, he needs a good moisturize routine and, like I said, some eye drops. Apart from that, like, the gear's cool. It works. Piece of advice, unless you want Omos on there, you might want to just cover those up with something. I don't know, but that might be something to consider. I'll tell you what, I respect trying to, like, be unique and stand out, but I feel like you've done a bit too much, and I don't know, he looks like he's in pain, like, constantly. I don't know if that's the vibe you're going for. I think it's a solid core, but I feel like there's a lot that could be improved. So where is Remy Lost going to go on the tier list? I'm going to say a high C tier. So I think that this core review is actually a little too short. And I'll be real, I don't have that many more cores left on the list. So, you know, if you're still submitting cores, or if you're still on 2K24, drop them on the hashtag breadstick. But what we're going to do is we're actually going to have a look at the community tag, which is a bit, it can be a little bit of a field day. And if there are any that, like, really stand out, we're going to have a look. So there are some cool ones here, but nothing that's standing out yet. Yeah, I'm not going to download any of them. I'm just going to have a look, and we're just going to kind of, like, see, right? Because this is the community at their finest. So, like, Jackie J in, like, 7 different attires, which is crazy. Cara Dunn. It'll be interesting to see, like, who catches my eye first. It's like a really cool core to look at. Like, how far am I gonna have to go before we end up clicking on one? Because hey, it's not roasting creations. We're not doing that. We're here to have a look. You look kind of cool, Arthur Hill. Okay. Alright, pretty decent looking core actually. Nothing too crazy, but pretty cool. I seem to be drawn to the hardcore people. That's what I'm learning here. Like, every single time I give a core a high grade, they are often hardcore people. Not all the time, but you get what I mean. Okay, so now we're starting to get into people with, like, custom renders and stuff. What about Haley Ramone? Or Ramone? Okay, hold on a minute. See, I'm not a fan of the custom render doesn't really, like, it's not false advertising for once, which, hey, you know what, fair enough. Just not a massive fan of it, personally. But the gear is sick. Like, this is incredible. Holy, that's mental. That's mental. I'm not going to download it, but it gets an upvote from me. Absolutely. Probably should start doing that with the course I couldn't download on the breadstick tag. I'll go back and I'll do it. But no, that's sick. And they've got a bunch of cores on here, man. But that one stood out a lot, because that was just a really sick design. Yo, we got the White Panther up in here. Panthera Blanco. Okay. I like it. Getting an upvote from me. Absolutely. Yeah, I kind of hope that, like, looking through this tag kind of gives you guys sort of inspiration as for, like, what you could in theory do for, like, your cause if you are submitting to the hashtag breadstick, of course. You know, because like I said, I'm always about, like, trying to help people improve. I'm not just here to go, oh, look at the person's bad cause. No, I'm here to, like, actually try and help you guys out. And, like, I'm actually trying to help you guys with, like, resources and inspiration and, like, ways you can up your game. And I feel like having a look at, like, the tag that's essentially the hub for this community is probably the way to do it. Sleazy J. The sleazy one has arrived, so hide your wives, sisters, mothers, and daughters, especially your mothers. Dogs into the MILFs? That's crazy. Nah, I like this core as well. That's getting an upvote once again. It's kind of like Billy Gunn-esque, but I like it. Kind of like this. I kind of like Trevor Storm. Ooh. Making use of, like, in-game stuff. The only thing I'm not a massive fan of is the fact that your logo is white on the back, but everything else is red. Apart from that, I think it's pretty good. For the second attire, because it all kind of, like, lines up, you're gonna get an upvote from me. Pretty cool core. Like, Damian Miles looks kind of cool. Obviously, I'm seeing, like, immediately, yeah, there's Miles Morales style there, but I really like this core, actually. Yeah, that's getting an upvote, and I think that's gonna wrap it up. So once, as always, thank you all for tuning in. As always, we're still on 2K24 because 25 has now not only got the community creation split, but they really don't care about the creation suite, let's be honest. So, you know, if you're still creating on 24, drop your calls to the hashtag breadstick. More core reviews here, and YouTube really thinks you'll like this video, so maybe consider checking that out. See ya!